And good morning. How is everyone? Or good evening, depending on where you are. If you're here from the other live streams, I want to welcome you back. Josh is getting ready and we're about to throw to him in New York, but we're going to put the final steps, the construction steps, on his brand new Creality Ender 3. So, Josh, let's see. Josh, are you over? Oh, there you are. How are you, man?
Yes,
How's your
sir.
weekend?
Hello. Weekend was great. It's summer here in the United States, so had some wonderful time at the beach, socially distanced, of course, very responsible.
Did you have
Got some sun.
did you have your mask
Oh
on?
yeah, no, I was at the beach with a mask on. Yes.
That's okay. I haven't seen anyone go to the beach because we've gone from summer into kind of colder weather. So, did you go to Long Island? Which beach? What beach is there in
So
Manhattan?
yeah, no, there's plenty. So I went out to Queens. There's a beach there called Fort Tilden.
Okay,
Uh, Relatively, I'm not going to say it's a relatively unknown and private place, and we had plenty of space to socially distance, so we had a really great time. Yeah,
fantastic. That's great. Did you
yeah,
now? The most important thing is, did you take your 3D printer with you to the beach?
of course. I printed a nice towel for myself.
And a mask and everything else that goes
Of
along with
course,
it.
all the things. Some food.
Excellent.
Yes.
No, that's cool. So what we're going to do is, as I was saying to everyone before we threw to you, is that we're going to put the last steps together for your Creality. And just a recap of
Yep.
what happened last time was that we went through most of the construction steps. The Creality machine actually, or the Ender 3 machine actually comes with large assemblies pre-assembled. But there is a little bit of fiddly stuff. I know that when we were talking about it after the live stream, you made the comment that you didn't realize how tactile kind of assembling something like this is.
Yeah, this is not IKEA furniture. You need to have very fine motor skills, which I luckily have. It's just, I, I don't think I've been challenged in this way before. And I was saying to a friend, like, I love challenges. So even though, yes, I definitely got frustrated, I enjoy that. Like, I don't enjoy something unless it's a big challenge, and that's why I rock climb. That's why I do, you know, it's great. So I really enjoyed it.
And that's the wonderful thing about making and STEM. It's one of those things that you can explain. And I know we spoke about the construction of this 3D printer for a while before we actually decided to do a live stream. And one of the things that I had experienced before, and now you're going through that process, is that the very first time you do something, it can be quite challenging. It's kind of that old saying is you don't know what you don't know. And the way people are designed and we live our lives, we learn as we go along. It's actually one of the things that I speak to a lot of teachers about because it's a great thing to read about something, and I know that's we had the case where we went through the instructions and we kind of had an idea about it, but until you're actually doing it, well, that's another skill altogether. So this is
Right.
a great example and why we wanted to share this process with everyone out there, because it's a great thing to go and watch these videos, but it's another thing to jump on board. And one of the things that I realized when I started consuming a lot of kind of how-to videos on YouTube was, a 5-minute project would take me 6 or 7 hours to do because A, I hadn't done it before, and B, they cut out all the failures and just show you the gold. Every step seems to be 30 seconds and I got it done. So we wanted to show a little bit more of a realistic approach. And you know what? It's been great. We've had some people chime in and give us some advice when we got caught. We put the extruder on the wrong way, but you know what? We got there.
Yeah,
So
your friend
so
Derek was very helpful there.
I think yeah, there was Derek and a few other people who helped out. So shall we jump into it?
Let's do it.
Great. So we are up to step 9, and step
Yes,
9
sir.
is placing that bar across. And so what we're going to do is that bar that we finished with last week was last week, it was Friday, was
Friday. It
actually
seems like a week ago.
yeah, absolutely. Hey, Aaron, my good friend Aaron had just jumped in to say hello, which is great. But
Hey, Aaron.
what we're actually going to do is that Z height has a bar across it with the extruder. So Josh, why don't you shuffle down to the work area, and we're going
Yeah.
to actually put that bar in off camera, as we discussed before. We Josh was able to get the cable attached, so we're going to move forward with this now. So I'm going to give a bit of a play-by-play, if that's okay.
Yeah,
and
man.
go for it.
So, as per usual, I'm gonna do this the way I think it should be done.
Okay, so let me just
And you,
see if you can pull back. Oh no, that's good. Yep, good. I just want to make sure that the nozzle was in the right way. So
yeah, of course. Interesting.
so
Okay.
what Josh is actually
Thing.
doing now is that those two bone areas that we were playing with last week have wheels on them, and the idea is to drop that down a little bit so that we can actually that will freewheel with the lead screw, which again we assembled last week. So maybe Josh, can you spin the 3D printer a little bit on its side so we can just see the other angle?
You mean like
Bad.
kind of like this? Like that?
No. Just put it back the way it was, and just spin it around so that we can see a different view. I'm sorry. So just on the side view is what I'm after. Yep, that's it. Perfect. Just bring it straight around again. Cool. So now everyone can see what you're actually doing here, and they can actually see that lead screw, which is parallel to the back. And if you look a
Yeah.
little bit higher, you can see a bit of a brass a piece, which that will actually tap into and allow it to be able to go up and down. So
So I do see what you're talking about.
great.
Um, Now, here's my question. I think I've got all of these wheels. Um, they seem to be in tracks, but like I oh, there we go. Okay.
Yay, you got it in.
Yeah,
And you can
thought
see
I
now
was
the
doing it
lead
wrong.
screw is actually at the top of that nut. So what you want to
Right.
do is you want to just gently turn the lead screw around, see if you can kind of thread it through as such.
Oh, there we go.
And oh, look at
Yep.
that. Cool.
Now,
So
this side is going down,
that's
but the
okay.
other side is not.
Okay, so what we need to do is we need to make sure that it's free wheeling on both sides. So you might
Okay.
need to. There's a number of ways you can do it. Because I'm not there, I can't, and I'm actually blocked by the motor. So maybe spin it around the other side, so that I
Sure.
can see it to the camera, if that's okay. All right.
You see that?
Yep. And if you want to just thread it through by turning that lead screw, the lead thread. So
Yep.
what I would
It's that.
great. So what I think is going on that one is that if you loosen the screws on that assembly, you might need to pull it out just a touch to let it
Mhm.
flow up and down those Z rails easily.
So you're saying on this side?
Yes.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly from last Friday, there are 2 or 3 screws. You should be able to do it while it's actually attached as well. So
which screws are you talking about exactly?
so if you grab your Allen key, that bone
Yeah.
piece with the wheels is attached.
This one?
Yep, is
Yeah.
attached to the actual cross rod where the extruder
Hmm.
is. I
Okay.
think what you want to do is you just want to loosen those up just a touch so you can kind of wiggle it out a little bit and let it drop in, and then you're going to adjust it for enough space so that it tracks up and down just gently
Okay.
or smoothly. Forget gently, smoothly.
Yeah, yeah. It's, you know. Oh, wrong way. Okay, loosen it a little bit.
Yep.
Same here. Okay.
You don't have to pull it out
Got a
too
little.
far. Just give it a bit of a nudge.
There we
That's looking a
go.
lot better. Beautiful.
Yeah. Should
Excellent.
I tighten it up again now?
I would tighten
Bone
it
piece?
up here. You might have to adjust it in the future, but at least we've got some play. So that's kind of cool. I just want to. We've got a few people in the chat room, so if you would like to say good morning to us or good evening to us, that'd be really, really great. And thanks, Aaron. Thanks for letting us know that you can see and hear everything. I'm just getting some messages from the our AI overlords, just letting me know that sometimes it gets a little bit stuttery, but we're kind of cool. But if you're watching this and you would like to say hello to us, it's always nice to know who's following along with what's going on. So Josh, I think that is, from what I can see, that may be all of step 9. Let me just double check it as your co-pilot of construction.
Sure, man. Appreciate it.
Okay. So the other thing that that it says here is not to tighten the that brass piece too tightly, but I think we're okay with it. So
well, it seems to be moving freely.
Okay.
I'm turning the lead screw, and it's moving up and down on both sides.
Can you turn the 3D printer around so the front's facing us again, so that we can actually show people that movement?
Yes, I can.
Great. Excellent.
How's that?
And if you twist the lead screw, now people can actually see exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Hey, Sam. Good to meet you. And Abigail's in the room too. Happy summer or winter for our Aussie friends. Yeah. So very cool.
Well, indeed.
Excellent. So that's step 9 done. We're going to move on to step 10. And step 10 is putting the crossbar over the top to basically support the straightness of those Z-axis rails. And
the
Josh,
wonderful thing about this cross is it doesn't appear, it appears the same on both sides, which I love.
Basically because they should be equal when you put the screws in. But even better, you've got your favorite T-nuts. So we've got some T-nuts that need to be slid in as well. So,
oh, is that right?
I believe so. If you take a look at the instructions.
Are you sure? I don't see T-nuts here. I see the four M5 X25s, and then the two. They look like the cover pieces.
You're totally correct. What it's showing you there is the orientation of the crossbar. So there's a piece that's kind of like got a number of screws in, and there's a clean hole. You want to make sure that the countersunk holes are at the top, which means if you take a look closely at it, you would have seen kind of like a deep hole where you can put a screw in and it will sit flush with the top surface. That's what you want up top towards or away from the Z-axis. And hey, Sam, yes, I know Sam. Sam, who's in the chat room, I caught up with Aaron at Aaron's place last week. So Sam, I'm glad you were able to come and join us today. Sam's actually building a CNC machine very similar to this one from scratch. It's an incredible journey for him. I hope I get to interview him all about that journey on Makers Monday, but that's another project altogether. So Josh right now is putting in the screws. And what I'd actually do, Josh, is wind that bar all the way up to the top as far as you can go before you start putting those screws in. And what that'll do is that will hold it as far out as possible. So, if you're a little bit further in it, they may bow inwards a bit, and I don't want to make sure that doesn't happen. Perfect. Excellent.
Living it up.
Yeah, that's great.
Living it up.
Living it up.
Hang on. So, all the way up, you say? Oh,
yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to put it here because if
fine.
I go higher, the wheel is going to catch and push up the bar.
That's fine. Just as high as you can go. It just helps. With alignment, just get you guys a little bit closer to it. Now, as I was saying last week, when you're putting in the screws, put them all the way in, but don't lock them down. Just so if there's any wiggle room that's needed, we can make those final adjustments before you lock it in.
Sounds good.
So, yeah. Very cool. Mate, we're going to rip through these last steps, that's for sure. Because after this...
Well, as you said, I think we all learned a lot from the last time we did this. And I have, I've learned a lot. So that's all I got to say. I'm doing things that were taking a little bit longer last time more quickly this time.
Absolutely. In fact, we had that conversation after our last live stream, which was that this is an experience that I had that really changed my life when I was learning to drive a manual car. The very first time that I did that, I could understand the concept, but I couldn't really work the pedals enough to get the car to run smoothly. And I remember thinking to myself, I would never be able to drive a manual car. But in the end, what ended up happening is by having that experience and letting kind of my mind and my body kind of have time to integrate that learning, the very next week, it was not a problem at all. And I can already see, having gone through that process on Friday, now it's Monday our time, or it's I believe Sunday night your time, so it would have been Wednesday,
Yes,
Thursday that you did this.
Yep.
Just a few hours, you can actually kind of integrate, and that's the potential of kind of making and learning this way, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. That's looking great, Josh. From where I'm sitting, it looks parallel and straight, which is great.
Okay, I'm just tightening these down all. They're all
Beautiful.
in now.
Fantastic.
Yep, I think we're good.
And
now,
you want to put those caps on?
That's what I'm going to do, yeah.
Cool.
I think I'm going to move this down now so I can get to those end pieces.
Yep. So here's where you have your T-nuts coming in, of course. This is a pleasurable thing for you.
No, but these are not the T-nuts. Oh, after the next step, you mean?
The next step, step 11.
Yeah. Okay,
After that is your the T-nuts.
Yeah, my favorite part. I'll see how I'm doing. Maybe I'm sure I've gotten a lot better at it. We'll see.
I have no doubt that you're a lot better with it. So once we've got that piece in, which is the next step is for Josh to complete is to actually attach what they call a filament holder. So what that does is it holds the material above where the extruder brings it in, and that's step 11. So just going there to show them what is needed, what the instructions are.
I'm going to call, this is a very simple step, but I want to make sure I get it correct. So
that's okay.
There's, can we switch back to my other camera because I want to show you.
Sure can, please.
Yeah.
Scoot over and you can show you the camera. There you are.
Okay. So, as you can see here, there's these two kind of brackets.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see those?
Yes.
And my question is whether it goes like this up and down, or like this, or if it doesn't matter. Maybe tell me.
I think it's because I'm not there, but I think that's the orientation because those plugs are running parallel. No, I think it's the other way around. So logic for me, dictates that it will run parallel in the channel. So those little plugs go into the channel to hold it in place.
All right. I was only asking because I did try putting them in, and they didn't go all the way flush.
Okay. Look, they're more cosmetic than anything else. And I think if we go back to step 10, step 11. Let's try step 11 and I'm actually going to pull it up on my computer so I can actually zoom in a little bit more.
Sure.
Sorry, of course I've got it on the wrong steps. Step 11. Step 10. Wow, this morning I'm just everywhere and nowhere. So those pieces go on the end piece.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, it's just work out which orientation they're in, and they just pop on. If you aren't able to put them in, it's not going to be the end of the world at all. Like the machine is not going to work because you left those.
It will function without the end caps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is to make the machine beautiful.
I'm gonna pop back over.
Great.
I like beautiful things. Yeah. I'm going to slide back over here.
Excellent. And here we go. Give it a good squeeze, man. It should just pop on. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that got it.
Excellent. Smithers?
All right.
Good. So, with that done, we are on to step 11. We jumped the gun. And that's the filament holder, as well as your favorite T-nuts to hold it into place.
My favorite challenge.
And this time you're going to have to drop the T-nuts in from the top and then twist them around. So there's a little bit of dexterity in that. So
Right on.
right on.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. M5 T-nut. Let's
That's
find
what
that
we're looking for.
M5 T-nut.
This should be
See? Yes.
so.
All right.
As I was saying to everyone before, while you're getting all your parts together, this just happens to be your material holder for your 3D printer. Some different printers do it in different ways. The Ender 3 actually has the material hanging up top and just feeding it into a stepper motor that then feeds it straight into the extruder. It's a very simple design. I have a printer very similar to that. If I jump over to here, just behind me right there, you can see the big spool at the top, and it just hangs down and then feeds the material to where the extruder is, where my finger is. So it's just, I give you an example of what this step is going to put together. And we're back to seeing where Josh is with it. Did you find the big plastic piece?
I did. So I found this is the actual spool.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that.
Spool holder,
yeah.
Yep.
And then it looks like this is the holder.
Okay.
So it looks like two pieces, M5X8. Where is that? M5. I have one M58
Okay.
and two T-nuts. Yes.
Cool.
So
this is the exciting part of the final piece. So you've got.
Well, I will say that I'm really happy to have you here because these instructions don't really give a good idea of how to do this.
So do you have part 10 and 11?
I do. Well,
Great.
that part I'm very clear on because you could just do this. Well, actually, that's a good question. Which way does it go?
So what I would suggest is pull out the little plastic nut, and then you want to put the actual core holder on the inside of the bracket. So there's two little arms that are sticking out. Yep. You want to feed that through the way you're holding it, and then just lock that back into place. See, you've got nicely plastic extruded filament holder. Mine actually I had to print out on my machine. It's always nice when you get the official one.
It's like, hey, you've got a 3D printer, and there's a way to have it hold a filament spool, but you have to print out the spool holder before you can hold the filaments.
Which can be a bit of a challenge at times. It's when you can't,
when
you're not holding it, you ask yourself what's going on. So, all right, so that's step 11. We've got half of it done. What I would suggest is getting the T-nuts and actually dropping them in your left-hand side, the top left-hand side, just like in the picture. I would drop them into that top channel, and then I would actually. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but what you want to do is you want to hold the holder in place, and then start threading the screw in. Just put one or two threads through, and then pull it up so you can actually turn it a little bit. And the way I've done it is once it's in the right orientation, I pull it all the way up and then screw it all the way down so it's in the right orientation for what you want to do.
All right.
So it is a little bit, and I'd actually put the machine, that piece on the other side. So I would actually yeah, that's where I would put it. It will make things a lot easier when you start printing because it's a less of an area to travel.
All right.
Cool.
I have another question for you.
Please. What's the next question?
When I'm dropping my T-nuts in.
Yes.
You see how it's kind of like this. Let's switch over to the other camera. Let me show you on there.
Please. Let's do it that way.
Yeah. All
And there's Josh
So,
right here. Yep.
cool. So if you see, they're kind of, it's hard to, my hands are so big. So if you see like, it's got this kind of ring on the top,
Yes.
and then it's flat on the bottom.
That's right.
So which side goes up? The flat side or the ring side?
You know what? Derek just made a suggestion of being able to take off the end caps and sliding them through, but we've got the bolts in the way. But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Derek is right.
Mm-hmm.
Go back. So this is what I would do. There's a method to my madness. Is I would take the spool holder. I would put the T-nut. So I am looking to see what's going on with the live stream. Give me 1 second.
I think I lost the
we're back.
The work view.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you want to take care of that really quickly, and I'll speak to everyone, because it looks like we had a little bit of a glitch here. It seems that that YouTube likes to challenge us a little bit. So if everyone can hang on, I'm about to answer this wonderful call. So I don't know what's going on there, because it's not doing it. It's asking me to do stuff. Give me 1 second. Let's see if this is all going to happen. The wonders of YouTube. Oh, there we are. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's go back to the transmission. Let's see if we've got Josh back in there in the work view. There you are. Perfect. Thanks, Josh.
No problem.
Just do me one quick favor. We need to turn the microphone off on the camera, because I'm getting you in dual sound, as they say. So we'll let Josh take care of that very quickly. We don't need to see fingers coming up to the screen. Okay.
Thank you.
No problems.
All right, so I'm going to pop this off.
Okay. We lost a few people. I guess people thought that we weren't going to come back, but we are definitely back. So I'm going to say hello to them in the chat room to see.
I mean, we had 9, then we have 8, so I don't think we lost that many. But
okay.
Yeah. So okay. So this is going to go over here.
Yep.
My question is, or maybe it doesn't matter, but should it? Oh, I just dropped something.
Yeah, that was your T-nut. That's okay.
I got it. It's all right. I got it. So the question is,
yeah,
is the spool going to be facing towards you, or facing towards me?
Facing towards you.
Cool.
If you do it from the other side, you don't have to push it all the way across, but it's up to you, mate.
Right, you are, Gil. That's why you're here.
Because I like being a backseat 3D printer driver. Always have been.
Except that you're giving really good directions, so
you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
But I love this suggestion.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things.
No. So this won't work.
Why?
Here's why. Because I've got the bolts here.
That's what I thought.
I have to take them out.
No, I actually think, as much as Derek had a fantastic solution, and I thought that was the issue, what I would do in this case then, Josh, is I would just turn the T-nuts so that they will slip into the channel, and we'll go with how we were hoping. And then by turning them, we're going to hope that they can lock in. It's a little bit more fiddly, but it's a little bit more direct than having to pull out some of the nuts. And again, we're following the Ender 3 official instructions here. If we had done this before, we probably would have slid that piece on before actually attaching it to the 3D printer. But in this case, we're going to do it the official way. And again, these are the things that if you're putting together an Ender 3 for the first time, you just want to be aware of. So let's see what's going on. Can you push that all the way down into the channel, Josh?
Yep.
Cool. Hey, we got 10 people. We broke double digits. Hey, everyone. Thanks for hanging on with us. Cool. Hey, that looks good. You know, the amazing thing is that I think at 9:30 everyone's finally getting online to go to work, and guess what? We're probably the internet is probably struggling a little bit because we have a thing here in Australia called the NBN, and the NBN is was Australia's attempt to go into a technological world. And if the live stream suddenly gets cut off, it's because the government here doesn't want me to talk about the amazing work the NBN has done. So we won't get political at
I'm
all.
not familiar with the NBN, but
I'm gonna wait till till everyone kind of you know in the chat room starts talking about the NBN. At least the Australian guys, because they are definitely used to having. Hey, look at that! Perfect.
well, yeah, it's in the right spot, but I can't get these T things to turn.
Fantastic. Absolutely. So Aaron was saying to me that my friend Aaron was like, he just wants to reach through the screen and help with your construction. And you know what? I am absolutely agree. One of the challenging things for me on this live stream is not to get my hands in there and help Josh, which was my original plan when we decided to do this, was to go over there and have a bit of a holiday and do this. But it's an incredible challenge not to do that. But everyone is kind of cool. Hey, Mike's also in there. He's no broadband network. Yeah, the NBN is the no broadband network. That's for sure. Hey, what happened there?
It's I just took it off for a second.
Okay.
Let's see if this helps me at all.
Great. We can't see what's going on, but how about you tell us what you're doing?
So I just took the assembly off, and I'm threading the T-nuts a little bit more up
Okay.
the screw.
Great.
So maybe that'll make it more secure so that when I turn it, the T-nut will go more like kind-like, but it's not doing it.
I would pull up, just slightly take some weight off the nut as it's pushing down, so it kind of like holding a little bit. It'll swivel as you tighten the nut. It is a little tricky. It's a little dexterous. It's the sort of thing that you once you've done it once, you kind of build that skill. But we should be good. I'm sure right now everyone's clamoring to say, "Oh, we can do this. We can definitely do this."
Hey, I got it.
Good man. Good man. You know, one of the challenges of doing a live stream like this is to actually put into words what the actual physical experience is all about. So, you know, it's kind of an interesting one. So, stream health is it's now telling me that
it's locked. I got it.
It's locked. Done, man. So you are pretty much all the physical assembly is now done. Congratulations. You've just taken a big step into a wider world. If I quote Star Wars. If you could just tilt your camera down a little bit so that we can follow the wiring stage, which is wonderfully.
So I got the T-locks turned in the correct direction. I just need to tighten the last screw before we do that.
Go for it. No problems.
Yeah.
Because you've got a lot to do, I would actually use the other end of the Allen key and be a lot faster for you. The short end is great for putting tension onto the screw, and the long end is great for turning threads really quickly. Cool, we're getting there. And we're actually doing this exactly in the time frame we thought it would take. So that's great.
Hey, improvement, growth. All right,
that's
I'm
luck,
going
my
to
friend.
swivel the camera down a little bit.
Okay. All right, so while Josh does that, let's go back and see what's going on. Yeah, no, not a problem. Just pull the 3D printer back a little bit. We'll have to spin it around to show everyone what you're doing. But we are now on the final stage, which is wiring. So you're going to have to take a look at your physical graphic. But for those of you who are following on screen, what we're going to do now is actually put all the wiring cables in. So we're going to do them to a number of stepper motors. We'll take it one step at a time. Josh, how would you like to do this? Would you like to go down the left side first? And we can
Sure,
tick
let's do
those
that.
things off? Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So,
So
interesting.
the very first one happens to be the E stepper motor, which will be up the top on the side that your power supply is on.
This, yeah.
And I'm not too sure where that cable, are those cables separate? Are they attached?
So, yeah. Hang on a second. So I've got this. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. It's all pre-done.
I think I found it.
Excellent.
Yep.
So you want to place that in there? It'll only go one way, which is a good thing. Can't really short it out with those plugs. You might want to actually, if you spin the 3D printer around again, we can actually see what's going on.
Right on. Forgot to put this back on.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So like this?
Yep.
Or all the way around facing me?
No, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
So if you take a look at the motor, you will see, actually I have a motor here. So if you want, I can actually show you. So this is a similar type of stepper motor. So I can show it to everyone. So these motors are what runs the 3D printer, and you'll see there's a little white plug towards the back of it. So that little white plug is where Josh is going to put the cable in. So Josh, can you see that white plug? While you're waiting for the replay.
No, I can see. I can see what you're doing, but
So Josh, I can actually see the plug towards the camera, just to let you know.
That's what I thought. I didn't think it was on this side.
No. So that E needs to go into the plug that's facing the camera right now.
Done.
Excellent. So then the next step is to connect the power cable, which are, you'll see two red and black cables. Fantastic.
Yep,
when you plug them together, make sure the red is going to the red and the black is going to the black, just in case, because that's the main power. And you actually want to put that above the motor. So you want it to run above the motor. Perfect. That way, if there's any movement, there's no problems. So what you're doing now is connecting the power supply to the board. Fantastic. Now the next thing is an end stop switch, and in that bundle, or a bundle, it will be Y. Now that plug will have two cables. I'll just show everyone here. That will have two cables. There's also a Y for the motor that has three cables. So take a look around.
I do see. There's a Y on the bottom, and it's already plugged into something.
Oh, okay. Then they've obviously done it already. Even better. It should be plugged into one of those micro switches.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect.
Down here, if you can see where I'm pointing.
That's okay.
It's already plugged in here. Both of them are plugged in. The switch and also the motor are already plugged in.
Excellent. So so the switch and the motor are plugged in. Fantastic. So the next one on our list is the Z-axis, and the Z-axis is that motor that we actually screwed together where the lead screw is. So if you want to,
I see it.
Plug that in. That'd be great.
Right here. Yep.
Very cool. Now you've got a very technical job once you've plugged that one in, is to take that white tube that's coming out of the extruder and you want to plug that in. Now, you might want to turn the 3D printer around a little bit so I can see what's going on. So if you put it on the top. Actually, the other way, if that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed that tube. That tube actually sits, it's kind of hard to see, but that tube sits on the feeder. Actually, can you put it back to the orientation that we had just before? Sorry, the original orientation? Yep, on the side. So can you lower the Z axis a little bit so we can just see it? Perfect. Keep going down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Okay. So on the motor that feeds the filament, you'll see there's a little brass tube coming out of the left-hand side, almost at a right angle to the motor. Can you see that? It might have a little white kind of like button around an opening.
Well, the tube is already fed into here. Like here. This is already fed.
Okay. But it's actually, so the motor that's on the actual extruder track, you see there's a motor there, right? So that motor feeds in the filament. The filament runs in the back and then comes out the front, and we want to feed it into that white tube.
Oh.
So if you follow.
Okay, got it.
You got it now?
So my question is, how does this go over the top?
Does this go over the top? That's a very good question. Does this go over the top? Maybe someone else will be able to answer it. Let me just pull up a quick image. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but let's see. Okay. It doesn't go over the top at all. It just you have enough length to be able to feed it in. Where that actual part to feed it in is away from the camera. So see that structure on top of the motor? You put your finger on it?
I see exactly where to feed it. The only thing is, I think I shouldn't have put the bar here.
No, it goes under the bar.
Right, so I have to take it off.
No, hang on. We're not going to do that yet. Hang on a second. It should be parallel, my friend. It should be parallel. So there should be a tiny little bit of loop, and then it should go straight across into the motor, and it's the motor that's closest to the camera.
This one?
No, the other one. That one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, again, like...
Thanks, Derek. Thanks a lot for joining us, mate. I know that you got to run, but we appreciate the support.
So I have to, like, somehow get this over, which I did. Cool.
Straighten. Wait a second. Let's take it one step at a time. Can you straighten the 3D printer so it's facing the camera? Okay. All right. So slide the carriage all the way to the other end.
This?
Yep. All the way across. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to put your hand on the motor that's closest to you. Yep. Now, I'll put your finger straight up till it hits the brass thing. All you got to do is take that white tube and put it into that brass opening. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
Job done. Perfect.
Yep.
Let's go to the next step.
All right.
It was a super technical one. Now, the next step is...
Honestly, no, that wasn't hard. My only question is, like, the cabling is this going to be able to move okay?
Yeah, it will, and we're going to adjust it later on. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's one of the things.
Okay.
Now, we need to put a small cable into the control box, right? And the cable is called EXP3. Can you find that?
I've got a rainbow cable.
Okay, that could be the one.
I've also got another Z.
You have another. Okay, so that's okay.
Wait, let me look here.
You should have maybe
EXP3.
EXP3. It's the rainbow
It's
cable.
rainbow.
That's cool. Then you've got, you should have an X, X, and a Z. Does that look? Some of them may be plugged in already.
So I've got an X unplugged, and I've got a Z in the front over here,
Okay.
unplugged.
Great.
And then I've got the EXP3, which is the rainbow cable.
So let's put the XP3, you definitely did, and we've reconnected. So it seems to be one of those days. I guess Mondays are not the greatest to video conference. I'm sure everyone is doing what they need to do, but let's go back to the workflow. No, Josh, I'm going to need you to restart your view.
Oh, yeah.
View. So we'll do that right now. Just make sure the microphone is off. And here we go again.
Already done.
Yep. Thank you so much. Very cool.
Okay. Now I've got the EXP3. It's close to the control board where it should be. Now my question is, there looks to be 3 different ports that this could connect to.
Do you see one that says EXP3 on it?
I have to take a closer look here.
Please do. So just for the people in the chat room, we're going to keep going with this. I apologize about the dropouts. Unfortunately, that's beyond our control. And we are definitely back and live. So that's good.
Found it, and I am now plugging it in. Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry at all. That's what it's all about, my friend. So
yeah. Cool. Got it.
Excellent. So now we just need to do the last part about it, which happens to be...
So I got 2 X's and a Z.
Cool. We are... Yep. So let's do the Z and the X and the Z. I'm more than happy to... Sorry, we got 2 X's and a Z. So there should be an X with two wires on it. You've stopped again. That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
What's happening? So, oh no, you're back. Excellent. So you want to put the X into the switch stop, which is your in stop, and then you want to put the other X with the 3 cables into the motor.
I see it. They hit it in there. Okay, got another dexterous move here.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. We got it.
Cool.
There are no cables that are not plugged in.
Excellent. So I think we're at a point now, Josh, if you want to go back to the other camera for a second.
Yeah.
We are actually in a place where we can now turn this on and power it up. So you know, you can see you're mopping your brow. It's like a good surgeon.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Surgeon. Yes.
You know, don't they have nurses to mop their brow? Well, I watch a lot of MASH.
I'm sorry. It's a small operation right now. You know.
Absolutely. So, Josh, if you've got the power cable, plug it in.
I do.
And then we're going to go through powering it up, doing a quick test. We're going to heat up the extruder. I'll let you do that. And then from there, we're going to actually level the bed and try running one of the pre-sliced prints that came on the little card with the Ender. And I think that would be an incredible way to complete this step. Of this and this actual construction is actually to build something from scratch. So how we going, Josh? Have you got the?
I'm gonna slide it. I need to slide it over a little bit. It might be out of frame a little bit, but I need to get it closer to my outlet.
Okay, we might just need to reframe and just point it towards the camera a bit. We can definitely do that.
Sure.
So you know, it's been a kind of an interesting challenge doing this live stream the way it is. Building things are pretty amazing, but at the same time, doing it this way, it can be a bit of a challenge, but I've got to say, Josh has been an absolute champion and we are literally.
All right. So I've got it plugged in now, so I can reframe it. You tell
Please
me
do.
when it's kind of more. Yeah.
No problems, my friend.
How's it?
So let me go to the work view. Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
Yes.
that's okay. You want to tilt it down just a little bit because really all the action is going to be down towards the end. Beautiful.
Yeah. Good.
Sweet. And then when you get behind it, can you just tilt it towards the camera a little bit?
Like this.
We're buffering a little bit, so give it a second to catch up. So yeah, actually, could you kind of turn it a little bit straight on towards the camera, like the front of the printer is.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, cool. So if you want to say whatever you want to say, we're not going to bless the printer with holy water because that's going to be a bit of a problem. But if you would like to power up, we'll see where this goes.
I think this is going to work. I don't need to say anything else. So the power is this right here. Just press this.
No, power is at the wall, I believe.
Oh, right. Got it. Well, I've got power on the display.
Yeah.
Seems like I did that right.
Oh, cool. Okay. I would love to be able to show people what's actually going on, but
let's see if I can help out with that.
So let's see if we can actually show them what's going on.
Well, I can take this off the tripod.
Yeah, let's do that.
A little better view.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll let Josh do that because I need to see the screen so that we can actually. The screen is pretty much what's important. So maybe Josh, if you want to just grab the tripod, bring it in, lower it a little bit, and we'll be able to go and do that at the same time. So
All right, no worries. Just give me a moment.
Yep. Very cool, and we're going to show people exactly what's going on. So. Hey, your mother just sent a message saying you're looking good, Josh, and your dad's watching too. So, Mr. Rothman, the job now is any maintenance on this 3D printer. We're going to ask you to get involved, get handsy on it. So, I can hear Josh laughing. So let's just go back to the view. Okay, we're just still setting up there. Let me know, Josh, when you've got that all set up, and we'll take it from there.
But
yeah. Okay, we're back. We're back yet again. Just seems to be one of those days. Now, Josh, I hate to say it, but I'm going to need you to reestablish that on that camera one last time for me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those interesting things. I'm actually going to send one to you. Let's see if we can get this going. Okay. All right. I actually, for whatever reason, can't see anything on the screen, which is a bit of a shame. But let's see.
Yeah. Let me try turning the lights off.
If you could turn that light off, that would be amazing. Let's see what the work view looks like. No, I've got to go back and just quickly get your phone. No, there it is. It's okay. So if you could actually just turn the light that you were using that's on the right off, okay? And if you could just zoom in a little bit or bring the camera in just a touch, we should be good. A little bit further. No. The back screen is lit, is just blowing it a lot of stuff out. Okay, that's not a problem. Josh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through it, and I am going to do so. I'm going to leave it on the work view even though we can't see what's going on. And when it starts moving, if you could just jump that camera back a little bit, that would be amazing, so that we can actually see what's going on. So I'm going to just move it onto the work view.
What I will do is I can move this a little bit, so it's...
Yeah. Okay, we can't see the screen at all, so I'm going to do this using my 3D printer. But if you actually pull that camera back just a little bit and maybe turn the lights back on, people can see what the 3D printer is going to do. You'll hear a little bit of noise in the back of my machine. So Josh, if you could just reset really quickly. And
you want to go back to where it was before?
Yes, just so you can
Okay,
see
got it.
a full shot of the 3D printer. You can have it nice
Uh-huh.
and tight towards the bottom because that's where all the action is going to be. And in a 3D printer, it's all about the extruder. As long as the extruder is working and spitting out material, allowing it to trace and build up layers, it will definitely work well. So let's jump back and see where Josh is at. And that looks good. We'll give him a second. I actually just turned on my printer, this one right here, behind, and I'm going to use that setup, which is very similar to the Ender 3, to talk Josh through the steps to make sure this all works. How are you looking there, Josh? You ready to go?
How does my work view look?
Perfect.
How does that look?
No problems.
Good.
So, Josh,
Okay.
here's what I want you to do, my friend. I want you to go
Great.
to and on the screen, can you see what what's the screen say right now in front of you? Does it say any words?
Sure. It says Ender 3,
Yes.
0 degrees over
Perfect.
30 degrees.
No problems.
And
So
then
I want
next
you
to
to
that, it says 0 degrees over 30 degrees.
excellent. So Josh, I want you to take that button and I want you to press that button down, and you should see a screen that says Info Screen, Prepare, Control.
Got it.
Now I want you to go to the Prepare and click that button again.
Yep.
And now we're going to hold our breath and we're going to go down to Auto Home.
Got it.
And you're going to hit that button.
Click it.
Yes, you can. And if that works,
moving.
whoa, it's moving. And it should bring itself down in a second. If everything's right, it is so far. And now I believe this machine is alive, man. It'll take a second for it to come all the way down, but it is alive. This is definitely a moment to be proud.
It's alive.
It's definitely alive. So that's the first thing that we want to do, is to make sure that it can home itself. We will have some fine adjustment to do, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Josh, if you want to pull the 3D printer just a little bit forward on the table, people can actually see a little bit more what's going on. And you can move it through this. It's not going to harm it at all. Just, yep, perfect.
How's that?
Cool. Now, I just want you to make sure that it should stop. Yep, perfect. It worked. Fantastic. So what this means is we've wired up the machine correctly and you've assembled the parts correctly on this machine. Now, I want you to go back and again, go back into the Prepare menu. And I want you to go down to, you'll see a preheat setting. You'll have to read it out to me because I'm not sure exactly what it says. But if you keep sliding down, there should be.
I've got a preheat PLA and a preheat ABS.
So I want you to go to preheat PLA. I want you to click that one for me.
Yep.
And in there you should have two different settings. One would, or three maybe. Do you have preheat PLA?
Yeah,
read them out.
Okay, I got preheat PLA, preheat PLA end, and preheat. There's another one. Hang on a second. It went back to the home screen. I didn't do it.
That's okay.
Preheat PLA, preheat PLA end, and preheat PLA bed.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to preheat PLA bed and turn that on.
Yep. Done.
And then go to the top, jump back out of it, and I want you to take a look at the numbers and see if they're changing.
Yeah, the bed has 45 degrees, and below it has 33 degrees.
Okay.
And it's going up on the bottom.
Fantastic. So what that means is that it is, that that bed is wired correctly, and it is heating up. Fantastic. So now I want you to go back into the menu once again, and go back into the Prepare and the Prepare PLA, and I want you to do the same thing with the end. So that's the hot end, and I want you to just turn that on to see if we've got some power going through it.
So then I've got, it says 185 on the top, and then it's going up on the bottom. It's like 44, 47, 49.
Yep. Perfect.
Good. Yep.
That's what we want to see, my friend. because what that means is that it's all wired together properly and that it's actually heating up. And a lot of that's done in the factory, but still, you know what? When you're assembling it, you've got to make sure that it's all working. Great.
I don't disagree with you. Gotta make sure things work.
So what we're going to do is once, do you want to, is it still, both ends still getting warmer as we're talking?
They are, yes. I can't remember, the end is up to 126 and the bed is up to 46.
Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to go back to the wall and I want you to cut power to the machine because we need to cool it off so we can do the next step. And the next step...
So, turn the power off?
Yes, please.
Okay, got power.
Perfect.
Done.
Great. So we will turn it on in a second, but we just want to make sure that we've got a lot of people congratulating us and congratulating you. We've got Aaron telling us that it's alive, and we've got Sam also saying it is very exciting. It's exciting when the first time that you've got something like this running. So that's awesome, awesome stuff, and you should be very, very proud because it is. Even though this is a kit, you know what? If you've never done it before, you've got to go on a little bit of faith. So Josh, you should have a piece of paper with you. Is that correct?
I do, yes.
What we're going to do is we're going to use that piece of paper to actually level the bed. So, so what we're going to do is, if you can, you should be able to slide the print bed forward. So, yeah, and you should also be able to slide the carriage across easily because there's no power to it. So,
the carriage. You mean
the extruder carriage. That runs on that bar.
Move the bed.
So the thing that the white tube is going into.
Okay, so move that up, in other words. Oh,
no?
Move. Okay, got it. Yeah,
that's it.
Got
cool.
it.
So what we want to do is we want to put that in the middle of the print bed, as close as you can get.
Okay.
Audrey Hamilton is also telling us, nice work on this print. So that's nice. It took us a bit of time, and that's great. But we got there. That's what we like to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want you to take that piece of paper, and I want you to slide it between the bed and the nozzle and see if it fits. Does it fit?
Yes, it does.
And as you slide it back and forth, just gently with your fingers, can you tell me, does it feel like the nozzle is touching the bed? Or can you see a gap?
Feel like it.
Can you see a
It's
gap?
a very, very small gap.
Excellent.
It's a very small gap.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to make that gap close enough so that there's a little bit of tension on the paper when you move it back and forth, and that will be the correct height to start printing on your printer. And the way we do that is that at the front and the back of your 3D printer, just underneath the corners of your bed, there should be some wheels. Can you see those?
I do.
Excellent. So what happens is that if you turn them, they will actually push the bed up and down. And maybe someone in the chat room before we start can actually tell us which direction they should go. I believe left goes up and right goes down. That's my guess because I've done this so many times it drives me nuts. But what we want to do is if we turn one wheel left, then we turn all the wheels left in the same amount so that you're raising the bed equally. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Excellent. So
I'm going to try left.
Yep, just give it a quarter turn on each one. So the two at the back and two at the front. Now, I'm not too sure how much distance there is, but you'll get to a point where as you slide the piece of paper back and forth as you turn it, you'll actually be able to feel the friction coming in. Okay, you've got a lot of play. So give it another quarter turn on both. and this is the kind of frustrating way of being able to level the bed.
Nope. Are we
Yep.
sure that left is the right direction? Okay.
Well, it may take a few turns to get in there.
Yeah.
Now, take a look at it. Does it look like it's
getting... What I'm trying to do is turn each about the same distance.
Yep. Those big wheels are a godsend. I used to have to do that with an Allen key. You can imagine how hard that would have been from the top as well. How are we looking? Now, you might have to turn quite a bit.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I'm gonna stop doing this one turn at a time and do it a little faster.
Okay, you can. It's just got to make... Okay, not a problem. Go for it. Part of this is all about learning and adapting, so no problems.
Yeah.
Does it look like it's closer or getting wider?
I think it's getting further away. It looks like it's getting further away.
So let's try. Let's go right then. Give it 3 or 4 good turns, and we'll reassess. And I'm going to turn off my printer here. And once we've got this leveled, we'll run a quick print. Load it up the filament. And we'll see what's going on. All right. So what Josh is actually doing is there are screws on the corners which can raise the print bed by a minuscule fraction every time, literally millimeters or fractions, I guess, if you're in inches. And the idea here is to get as close to the print bed as possible and leave a tiny gap that can be filled with the plastic that the 3D printer is going to be extruding or spitting out while it traces its pattern. Okay, Josh, what's up?
Well, I've definitely that was the right move.
Okay.
I did it a little overboard.
Yep.
So when I tried to move the paper, it wouldn't move at all.
Great. So the way I do this, just to share my method, is that I'm constantly moving the paper back and forth as I am adjusting the wheels, so that I can feel, where the tension is.
So I'm pulling it now, and it's definitely a drag.
Great.
I'm able to move it.
Okay.
But it is a drag.
So now what you need to do is you need to move that print bed to the back right corner and make sure that it has the same tension on it. So we're going to make finite changes.
Wait. Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's okay.
Cool, I got you. Yep.
Yep. And tell me whether or not the bed feels like it has the same. Now, did we put the glass on there? We didn't.
No, we did not.
Ah, guess what we're going to have to do?
No problem, man.
And we're going to have to...
I got it.
But before you do that, you're going to need to wind back those... the thing, so that, because the glass is going to be a few mil thick as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, learning process.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
You've done it once, you'll do it twice. No problems.
Yeah.
Cool. We've got a few more people in the chat room, so we just want to, if you're just joining us, we've actually constructed the Ender 3, and we're putting some glass. The glass becomes a really good printing surface for a number of reasons. One is it deals with heat really, really well, and it doesn't leave any marks. The other part about it is that it is a very smooth surface. So a lot of printers use glass as a way to be able to have it like a uniform surface to print on. Glass also has a little bit of a shortcomings. So we're going to put a little bit of glue with a glue stick onto the glass to make sure that the print sticks without any problems. And these are, if you've used a 3D printer before, you will understand exactly what's going on. How are you going there, Josh?
So Gil,
Yes.
can I lift this up?
You can't lift it because remember it's on the ball screw. So
Okay,
you're gonna
got
have
it.
to.
So then I need to really, I need to back these off a lot.
Yes, you will. So also remember that there is the stop at the end is set at a certain height. So if it's too high, what will happen is the extruder will smash into the glass, and the glass is actually tempered, so it'll break the extruder before it'll break the glass. We don't want to do that.
You're right about this moving them very slowly.
Yes. Yeah. So back in the days when I had my first couple of 3D printers, I would actually 3D print knobs to go onto the bolts, because it used to be an Allen key, and you'd go in there and kind of fiddle with it, and it was just really really painful. I'll show people what I have now. While you're doing that, let me see if I can pull this out. I have this really kind of cool tool that was given to me, and I wish if you were here, I would give it to you now. It will make life a lot easier. So what I actually have here is, instead of using a piece of paper, I have this little tool. I'm going to open it up out of the box, and you can buy these. And what it is it's the thickness of a piece of paper. You can see here, but this isn't actually an electronic kind of sensor. So if I touch this, it lets me know with a light and a buzzer when I'm actually touching this very, very lightly. So the idea is that you put this underneath the extruder comes down, hits this, and lets you know that that you're set. So you can move this around your 3D printer very, very quickly. And that's a really neat little tool. I wish you had it right now. So so this will go a little bit faster.
Sorry. Better to learn manual and then learn automatic, right?
Well, I believe we have an automatic leveler that's going to go onto this, which will be the next step on a future live stream. Okay.
So I have this.
Does that fit yet?
The bed now.
Yep.
It has this plastic. Should I take it out and replace it with the glass?
No, I'd put the glass on top of it. Oh, hang on. Take that off for a second. Let me just see what it is. Is it a piece of plastic or is it a piece of?
It's plastic.
Ah.
But it's got like.
Here, can you take it to the Josh? Take it to the other camera so I can see what's going on. No, to the other camera on the computer. Thank you. I can't. You have to pull it back a little bit. Pull it back a bit and flip it around. Huh. I'm not too sure what that is. Okay. I would say if you can stack the glass and it can fit on top of that, I would do that, my friend. It definitely won't hurt.
And the glass has like a rough side. Should that go up?
So I would put the glass on the side up with which says Creality on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Can you slide that underneath the extruder now?
No, I can't.
Okay. See if anyone in the chat room has any advice on that plastic piece.
I don't think I can turn these anymore.
Okay, if that's the case, let's get rid of the sandwich. Let's get rid of the ender piece.
Wait a minute. I got it.
You got it? Even better.
Yeah.
All right. Line it up, clip it on, and let's get this leveled.
So you know what? I think I should take off the other piece because these clips, they no longer fit over. You there, Gil?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I lost your picture.
Oh yeah.
They no longer.
That's okay.
They no longer fit over the glass and the plastic. So
So
I am going to take
sure,
off.
plastic piece off, no problems. Okay. It's a nice piece of glass. I usually have glass that's see-through. Okay. Oh,
And these
okay. So
clips
my friend
just don't
Aaron
fit.
actually mentioned to us that he has an Aldi 3D printer and it has sticky build stuff that fixed directly to the base plate. I don't think that this is actually what it is in this model, Aaron. But you know what? I'm curious to understand. I think it's another printing surface. It's probably got some build tack on it, which is just a material that allows the print to stick a little bit nicer onto the build plate. Because when you're 3D printing, if you have any movement on the actual build plate during the process, it'll actually cause things to fail. Aaron's telling me that it's a little different, but I'm sure. You know what? Next time I come and visit Aaron, I'd love to see that what we're talking about. Josh, what's up?
So I'm trying to put these clips over the bed and the glass, and it's still not fitting. I feel like I need larger clips.
I tell you what. How about this? How about we put the plastic plate on, right?
Yeah.
With the clips, let's level it for there, and we'll work out what's going on with the plate in the future, because I don't think that's going to be a problem. You're probably right. You probably need bigger clips. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't be the first 3D printer that gives the wrong size clips.
Well, they're the right size for the plastic, not the glass.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know about you, but I believe that right now, let's get the printer up and printing more than anything else. So I'm going to let you go through that process again. You'll be. Yeah. Let's stick that right in the middle. And once we've got that, we might just do a print in the middle of the 3D printer and see what goes on. We're going good. Yes, Aaron. No, I would love to learn about what that 3D plate is on your Aldi printer. It's a pretty impressive printer, especially with the modifications that you made on it, which is one of the things that's always a joy when you're working with your 3D printers, is to be able to go in there and actually work out and modify them and get them to work a lot better. And I've got a feeling that Josh is no different from anyone else who, once they start tinkering, will find ways to improve the system. Let's. Oh, I thought we could see Josh's face working with concentration and see what's going on.
Always. It's quite a bit away.
Yeah, it's okay. Interesting. Very interesting to see. My friend Aaron was telling me that his print bed is a little bit like a mouse pad. Now, one of the things that's kind of interesting is that if you match the moves on all the sides, it makes it a lot easier when you're evening up the corners. You'll find that some corners will be too high and low, and you'll have to come back and
I'll be honest with you, I have not been keeping track of that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I shared with you in the beginning. It's always good to move. If you move one, you move all of them, but that's okay. As we've said all along, this is a learning experience, and one that I hope other people will come and see and realize what's involved. All right, we should be getting close.
I am. Indeed.
Okay, let's move.
Very slow. Like it's pretty cranked in there. Like I can move it.
Yep.
Should it
Just
be
make
less
sure
than
you
that?
no, just make sure you can feel a little bit of tension on the paper. The paper is very thin.
There's definitely
You don't,
tension.
okay.
Yep.
So let's move the extruder to the back left corner.
Wait, this side or this side?
That side. You got your hand. My back left, which is your back right, I guess. We want to put that extruder as far across as you can. And you might find that it's actually sticking, like there's too much tension on that right now.
It is, yeah.
Right, so you need to back that off a little bit. And again, that's part of what goes on. So let's put it right in the corner as far as it'll go. And let's even that out. So they've all got the same amount of tension on them.
No. Oh.
So let me see if I can find explain to people what's going on right now, because part of this is learning. So I'm going to just jump back to my camera in a second, and I'll actually explain what's going on. So what Josh is actually doing right now is I've just got a box of files. But if you think the build plate is the box, and I'm going to use this pen. So the pen happens to be the extruder. So we want to make sure that it's touching as close uniformly around the surface. But if it happens to be a little bit out like that and it's holding here, what needs to be done is this corner needs to go down. And by moving the extruder head in this area, if it's up too high, Josh will have to just bring it down. And by doing those 4 corners, he'll be in a much better space. The real test is putting it in the middle. So that's actually one of the most important things with 3D printing, because if my bed happens to be like this and I'm printing and material and it's suddenly going hard and I've got a piece like that, it's going to pop straight off. If it's uniform, then there's enough surface tension to hold it into place, and that's the real key to 3D printing. Okay, Josh, how you going, my friend?
I think we've got tension in this corner.
Okay.
I'm going to check the other corner again, see if it's the same kind of tension.
So you just want to go do each corner, and then you want to, so do your left, then your right, then go up to the front, left and right, and that should give you a good placement. Now that corner may be high or low, depending.
Okay. Let's see. That is low.
Okay, so you need to raise it up a bit so you can get the piece of paper in.
I've got a quick question for you since I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
The clips, where should I really put them so that they're not in the way of all of this?
You can move them in a little bit, and then you can move them back out once you've finished the bed leveling.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as long as you don't touch the those little wheels, you should be able to get away with general bed leveling and for quite a few prints, or we can actually lock them into place. But again, we're going to put an automatic leveler on this later on, so that won't be a problem.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. No problem, Aaron. Thank you so much for supporting us. I know that we've all got things to do. We will be back, and I hope you can join us for the next beginning 3D printing session with Josh later on. Have a great day, mate. Thank you so much for your support.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Excellent. I'm sure my good friend Aaron is going to go and work on some either CNC metal work or his lathe or his mill, and I'm totally jealous. So it's kind of cool. Very cool, in fact.
Yeah. Okay. How are we gonna do this?
All right. We're almost there. How's that looking? A little too high or a little too low?
I think a little too high.
Okay. Lower it a bit. And we are... This is a process that I think a lot of people, they'll just stick an automatic leveler on and then they're just like, yep, done. But like you said, doing it manually, when you understand the process, it makes things work a lot smoother should there ever be a problem. And by understanding this, you can actually go to any printer and be able to fix this sort of issue, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I'm gonna move these to make it a lot easier. And I'll put them back after.
Yep. So I would put one just in the middle, only because you don't want the plate to lift. If it's a little bit bowed or warped, and sometimes they come that way, you may set it and it may not be a true reading.
Okay, I think I'm good here.
Okay, just slide it in the middle, in that middle point where we started. Let's see what it's looking like. If you can feel the tension in the middle, we're ready to rock and roll.
I can.
Beautiful. We are ready to rock and roll. Slide the piece of paper out, turn the machine back on, turn it all the way on to prepare PLA, and just put it on PLA. So we're going to heat both the hot end and the base. But before we're going to do that, I'm going to show you how to raise the hot end, because I want the hot end off the piece of paper. Sorry, off the.
Oh, I moved it. Yeah. Okay.
So you can actually do that through the controller as well. So if you go in and go into prepare, there should be one called move axis.
Got it.
See it? Right, go in there, choose Z axis.
Yep.
And then turn it a little bit to the left. See whether it goes up or down. The numbers.
Yep.
I can't see the Z axis moving though. That's
well, I haven't done it yet. So it's the options are move 10 millimeters, move 1 millimeter, or move 0.1 millimeters.
Put 1 mil. Select 1 mil, and then turn the, the knob.
And now.
Yep. Keep going up. Keep going that way. Wind it. Keep winding. Keep winding. Keep winding. Keep winding. Keep winding. Take it up another 5 mil, and we're good to go. Excellent.
That's good.
Yep. That's great. So let's click it again to jump out of that menu. Go back to prepare.
Yep.
Go back to PLA. Preheat PLA, and then pick PLA, and you should be able to see the numbers starting to crawl on both the extruder and the bed.
So I'm doing the end and the bed, correct?
That's correct. And both of those can be selected when it says just PLA instead of PLA end or PLA bed.
All right. Let's see. The end is going up. The bed is going up as well.
Excellent. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go back in the box and grab your filament as well as the card, so we can put the card in the reader and we can get you printing.
Great.
This is the exciting stuff. So first thing I want you to do is put the card into the side of the control panel.
All right. Now the question is, where did I put it? Ah, here we go.
Good.
All right.
I'm glad you've got it.
So the memory, I do have it. Yes. The memory card I have is this one, a little tiny one.
And there should be a tiny slot on the right-hand side of the control panel where that fits in. I did some homework this
I'm going to
weekend.
slide around and do that.
Yep.
Yep.
It might be at the front or the side.
I don't see it.
Let me go pull up the instructions. I was sort in the instructions just before. Give me a second. Let's find out where it is. Okay, so the card opening is at the top right-hand corner on the right side of the screen. From the top, my friend. From the top. Come around. It's on one of the corners where the screen is, I believe. I can't see it from the camera point, which is a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
It's definitely in there somewhere. Try the bottom left-hand side as well. No, I would say it's at the top. Or turn around and take a look at the board. The board definitely has the TFT card reader, TF card reader.
I don't see anything here.
Do you see a mini USB connector on the side?
What I see is
no, Josh. It's where the screen is, my friend. It's in that area.
Okay, so there's a mini USB under the bed.
Under the bed?
Not on the control panel.
Okay. So near where that mini USB is, there should be a slot for the card.
I got it.
Great.
I got it.
Okay. Cool. I thought it would be.
It wasn't
by
near
the
the
monitor.
control panel though.
They've yeah.
No, it wasn't there.
My fault. That's
all right.
They've removed it. Okay, so that's in. Now, if you go back to your control panel, it should say there. If you look, it should say like Ender 3 ready.
It does.
Excellent. So I want you to push the button. And I want you to dial all the way to the end, and it should say something like print from card or...
It says init TF card.
We're not going to do that.
Initialize
Keep going.
TF card.
Keep going.
I don't. All it says is about printer at the bottom.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm not too sure.
Is it possible that the card isn't upside down?
No, that's okay. Try the ENIT TF card. It's just a different step than what I'm used to.
Okay. Now it says print from TF card as an option.
Perfect. Now go in there. Are there options in front showing you?
There's software and drivers, user manual, pig, 4H G code, dog.
Let's try 4H G code.
Which the pig one.
Whatever you want, my friend. Just pick one that says G code in it, and let's give it a shot.
So click on that, yes.
Yep.
Okay, extruder heating.
Excellent. So what's going on now is it's taking all the instructions from the card. It's going to heat the extruder and the bed to the right temperature. That temperature is basically the top number. So if you could let us know what the top number on the extruder is.
200 degrees.
And what's the bottom number on the extruder?
199.
Okay, so it's almost there. And on the, what's the top number on the hotbed?
45, and the bottom is 46.
Okay, so we just wait. There you go. It's starting to work, my friend. Here
Except that I didn't put the filament in yet.
Okay, that's a problem.
Well, you didn't tell me to.
We didn't do that. To be honest with you, I missed that spot, that step. So that's not a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel. So if you hit the button again, it's nice to know that it's running, right? And let's cancel that print.
Print.
Yep.
Yep.
And what we want to do is we want to go back into prepare PLA because we want to keep that nice and hot. And I want you to raise the Z axis like we did last time. And I forgot the most important step, which is let's feed the material into the printer. I was all like, yeah,
remind me how to move the Z again.
Okay, you want to go into prepare?
Yeah.
Move axis.
Got it.
Select the Z axis, move it 1 mil at a time, and then turn it to the right. Yeah, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. We want when it starts to extrude, we want to see like long plastic coming out. So that's why we want to take it up a little bit more. Fantastic. Now what I want you to do is I want you to go back into the main menu of prepare, and there will be one that says load filament. Or one's called filament initially.
Change filament.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Is the option I have.
Okay.
So hit that.
Go in there. Now, grab your filament, and I want you to put your filament onto that spool. We're not going to be able to see that part, so I'm just going to share what you're doing with everyone really quickly.
Print pause, insert filament, and press button to continue.
Exactly. So we've got a little bit of time. So no problems there. So what Josh is actually going to do now is he has a little bit of filament that came with the printer. He's going to put it onto the stand that we attached as one of the last steps. And then we're going to physically, manually put the filament through. And then we're going to feed it through the nozzle so there's filament coming out. And again, these are really basic steps, but for someone who's never done it before, this is a bit of a journey. So we're going to jump back to Josh.
I think I know what to do, but go ahead and tell me.
Okay. So what I want you to do, my friend, is I want you to take the filament and I want you to feed it. If you actually rotate the 3D printer so it's on its side towards the camera, I'll be able to show you exactly what we need to do. So I need you to take the filament, and where that white pipe goes in, on the opposite side, there'll be an area for you to be able to feed the filament in. And you'll see there's kind of a place for you to grab between a spring. I need you to push that spring in as you feed the filament all the way through. Does that make sense?
You're going to have to repeat it. That's
well, okay.
So
No
before we get to that, what I'm noticing is like I'm putting this on the filament spool.
Yep.
But it's like, well, first of all,
don't worry about it tangling up and stuff. Don't worry about that. Right? Just get the end.
I'm more worried about it falling off of the spool, but okay.
That's okay. Just get the end, and we're just going to feed it in. You don't have to put it on the spool. You can leave it on the table. It's not going to be a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So we'll give Josh a moment to be able to do that because we can't really see anything, but that's okay.
All right.
And let me know when you've got the end.
Yeah, I got the end.
Excellent. So we take the end, and you see opposite where the white tube goes in
Yeah,
to where the motor
I do.
motor end is, to where the motor end.
Yep.
Perfect. You'll see there that there's a spring between two black kind of pieces that you can grab with your fingers. Yep.
I see
I
it.
want you to squeeze that in, and then I want you to feed the filament into that open hole near your thumb. That's it, my friend. Perfect. That's exactly where it needs to go. Right? Now, when you let go of that spring, it's going to push it up against the gear in the motor. So I want you to push as much filament through, all the way through the white pipe until you can't feel it push anymore. You instead of holding all of it there, you're going to need to drop the spool so you can keep feeding it through. That's it. Perfect.
It's not. It went in the first time, but now it's not doing it.
You need to
I'm gonna try the other
squeeze.
end.
You need to squeeze the those pieces really strong. Okay. Just give it a bit of a jiggle. Just give it a push. That's it. You've got to really, that's it.
It's not going in though.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. And keep feeding it all the way through. You've got a bit to feed through.
It's not going in there.
Josh, move the printer a little bit closer so I can see that surface.
I
that
can't really move it because it's at the end of its extension cord.
Okay.
I'm not going to move
problem.
it.
There we go. Keep feeding it.
It's not going in at all.
So you need to squeeze that, where that spring is really hard. You need to really compress it.
So okay. I know you're giving me all the right directions, Gil.
Okay.
But I'm doing what you're saying. And this is another situation where, from last time, where I was doing what you're saying and I was pressing it real hard and it wasn't working. So I need an alternate idea.
No problem.
Because that's not working.
So hold it down, and then I want you to look at the brass. There should be a brass piece with like little teeth. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to feed the filament between the tooth and the bearing.
I got it.
Okay, and then out the white tube.
I can't press it anymore.
Okay, do you think that it's blocked on the tube? Do you want to undo the tube and see whether or not the filament's gone all the way through?
Yeah. I'm going to have to do a little hopping with my brow.
Okay. Nurse, wipe this man's brow.
I can't really get it off.
Okay, to get it off, there's two white rings. The thicker ring gets pushed against the smaller ring, and it should pop straight off.
Yep. Okay, got it. And the filament made it into the tube, but it's not very far in.
Okay. So while it's there, why don't we feed a little bit more filament through, and then we'll put it into the tube.
I see it. Yeah.
And then we'll reattach it.
Nope, I got it. It's going up all the way here, so now.
Fantastic. Great. If you want to reattach the white, yes, absolutely. Just reattach the white tube back to that.
It's already attached.
Beautiful. And then what we want to do is, when you feel a little bit of a tension, that means it's at the extruder. We want to make sure it's still at temperature, so that when you push it a little bit more, stuff will come out.
It's as far as I can press it, and I'm
okay.
I think
Great.
it's good.
Let's go to the front of the printer again.
Yep.
And what's the temperature of the hot end?
Well, currently it says print pause. Press button to heat nozzle.
Okay. Hit the button. Do you want to straighten the printer for us?
Please wait. Yep.
Great. Well, literally, we're almost there, my friend. So what's happened is, because it's gone into this mode, it's turned the extruder off. It should pick itself straight up and start extruding once it's at temperature.
Just gonna have a seat over here while that's waiting.
Sure.
Cool off a little bit. Yeah. I got my fan over here.
Great.
And we still got 8 people watching. Those loyal fans.
We definitely do. I mean, this is a journey, my friend. Not everyone's going to go on this journey. You know, it's a big difference between buying a 3D printer that comes straight out of the box and starting a journey like this. So you can imagine, you know, what would this journey have been like if you had to do it from scratch?
I imagine it would be more difficult.
A lot, yeah. Yeah, it is. But you learn a lot by going through it, even doing this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, can you read the screen from where you're sitting? Let us know what's saying.
Okay. Now it says print pause. Insert filament and press button to continue.
Press
And
that button,
it says
my friend.
nozzle E1, 182/185.
Press the
Waiting
button.
for filament extrude.
Press. Do you need to press the button again to get it to do it? Oh no! Look at that! Look what's going on.
I did.
Okay, hit the button because it's extruded.
Is that good?
Yeah. Hit the button on the printer to stop it, mate. What's it say now?
Wait for filament extrude.
Okay, it's done it. That's exactly what we wanted it to do.
But it's still going.
That's okay. Hit that button again, my friend. Hit that button. You got to tell it it's working.
Stopping.
Okay, that's okay.
It's not stopping.
Josh, can you move your arm out because people can't see what's going on? Okay, sweet. Let it run because that's exactly what we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's just not over the bed.
That's okay. Printing. If you want to, it did that on purpose. It moved it out of the way.
Oh, okay. So now it says resume options, resume print or extrude more.
So I want you to pull the, because we've got a solid piece of material coming out. I want you to take it off the nozzle, just pull it down. Don't touch the nozzle because it's really hot. Just break it off.
So just pull it, pull it directly down.
That's it.
Got
right?
It. Yeah.
And now I want you to say resume print.
Okay.
Now I don't think we had a print going. So is it on the main screen?
It is on the main screen. It says print aborted.
Okay, so now I want you to go and select that print again, and we should be okay. Now, the only thing that we need to do to make sure it'll be 100% okay is, do you have a glue stick by any chance?
Like a hot glue stick?
No, like one of the, just like a glue stick, not hot glue, but the glue that I use with the foam stuff.
I might, but I don't think I do.
You know what? Let's try this out without one first, just to give it a shot. It may fail, so we know that going into it. But load it up and let's rock and roll. Let's see what happens.
Extruder heating.
Excellent. What's the temperature of the bed? The bed's what's going to take a bit of time.
The bed is 45.
Oh, cool. That's good. It's still hot. And the extruder?
200.
And what's it need to be?
Well, it says the top number is 200. The bottom one says 199.
Okay, we're getting there. Can you take a look and see that little bit of material that's hanging out from the extruder on the printer?
Oh.
Grab that really quickly. Yeah, quickly. Just pull it off and let the printer go. It's now going to...
done.
Yeah. Let's see if it works. If we've done everything right, we will actually have material stuck to the bed. If not, we're going to have to bed level it again.
So it's kind of...
Here it goes. Okay. Holding my breath. Let's see what's going on. Oh, look, I can see a little bit. Yeah. Holy smokes. That looks like a print, my friend. Wow. All right. It's put, now, the most important part of this process is the first layer. If the first layer is not solid, the rest of the print will fail. So the fact that we got this first time and it looks like it's actually on there is awesome. So there you go, everyone. We've got a
good
live
news.
printer. This is where I thought we'd get a little bit caught, a little bit stuck, but it's actually working. So Josh, what can you see from your angle? What can you see is going on?
Well, it's created like an outline.
Mm-hmm.
It looks kind of like a wishbone or like a doggy bone, but shorter, kind of squashed together.
Yep.
And now it's going over inside of that shape with horizontal lines.
Excellent. So what it's doing is it's building what is called a raft. And the raft is probably a little bit more of a larger outline that gives it a little bit more surface tension. Once you've got this all dialed in and it's working perfectly, you won't have to use a raft. But you'll see the whole process. So Josh, man, that's working. That's definitely working.
Oh yeah.
Now what I would do,
putting a lot more material on now.
Excellent. So you'll see what's going on. It's a pretty neat machine, actually.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. A lot of people like the Creality machines.
Filling in more. Sorry.
Excellent. That's okay. Now you'll see that it'll fill in one way and then it'll do it the opposite way, and it does that for strength and support. Because if you had it all in one way and it has a break, it's not so cool. So Abigail's telling you that you must be super excited about the fact that it's actually printing.
I sure am. Thank you. Oh wow, I'm intrigued by this. This is fascinating.
Yeah, and it's actually really therapeutic. You can sit there for hours and watch this work.
I'm going to put this in where my TV is right now instead of the TV.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. It's pretty amazing when you see it for the very first time. I think this is
I really have never seen this happen. So this is new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's going to take some time for this print to work, so I think this would be a fantastic time to end this process with everyone else on board. Unless there's something you want to share, Josh?
I mean, I want to thank you for guiding me through this process. And I'm super excited. Like, this is the beginning, right?
Absolute beginning. And you know what? Really proud of you. And I never got any of my printers to work the first time. So it's a testament to your ability to put this together and also to take some advice. And I'm just telling you, like, it is so amazing to see. I'm jazzed that this is working. Like, I actually thought we might have some problems and we'd have to do it offline. But again, if you're a beginner and you're interested in getting involved in 3D printing, this may be an option for you. So it's kind of neat.
This is amazing. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Excellent. So we're going to leave it there. It was another 2-hour build. It was great. Josh is now in New York. His 3D printer is going. We'll definitely get an update. The next steps is to actually show Josh how to slice his own designs or slice the design that he downloads off the internet so that he can load it onto the 3D printer, and we'll be doing that live as well. That's going to be a little bit of a different process because we're going to be doing a lot of screen sharing with that. But if you're interested in 3D printing and the mechanism behind it, that's definitely something we would love for you to join us with. If you're interested in this sort of stuff, as well as other things to do with my Make It channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. And if you put the bell icon to all, you won't miss any updates for live streams with Josh and myself. And later this week, I'm actually going to build a computer right here in this office. I'm going to show you guys how to solder and build the world's first home computer, which is called the Altair 880. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to join us or join me and join us as we explore making, building, and everything else that goes with it. So we will see you guys really, really soon. Take care, have a fantastic day, and go make something awesome this week. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you, and have a good night. See you next time.
Thank you. Thanks, Josh. Talk soon.
All right.